Tweet worked.
Tweet worked. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dropshot, episode 2. I'm joined by, as always, my guest, Tanner. Tanner
Hello.
has now joined Twitter, by the way. Give him your Twitter handle, Tanner.
Oh shoot. Putting me on the spot here. It is Tanner with 4 R's 54.
So TANNERRRR54 at Tanner54. And then I am Razinon. You can find me on Twitter at Razinon. Find me on Twitch at Razinon. Find me on YouTube at Razinon. Find me on TikTok at Razinon. Find me on Facebook at Razinon. Find me on Instagram at Razinon.
Do you have an OnlyFans?
I don't have an OnlyFans yet, but that's in the works. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So today we've got a real fun episode. No good news, unfortunately. There's some
of the worst news, actually.
Some good news, some bad news, lots of bad news. But it's going to be fun because it's made me laugh just thinking about it. So being able to actually discuss everything that's happened is going to make me laugh even harder. Now, if my voice sounds a little weird, if I sound out of breath, I caught a stomach flu on like Sunday night at like midnight. So I didn't go to work Monday or Tuesday. Today was my first day back at work. I was fucking dead. Haven't been that sick in a long time. Had like fever dreams the first night. Like I didn't know who I was. I thought I was a girl named Tori or something. It was real confusing, but I'm on the upswing now. I got my Powerade here, so
That's insane.
it was nuts, dude. It was really bad. So
I knew it was bad because you didn't reply on the Instagram chat for like a whole 24 hours.
dude,
I
didn't have the energy to pick up my phone. I'm not even kidding.
That's
I laid in
crazy.
bed and sweat and puked and cried. I didn't actually
Oh my
cry,
God.
but I
would've.
sweat and puked and shit for just 2 days straight. It was terrible, dude. Terrible. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's
Hey, anyway, speaking of all that shit, let's talk about today's patch.
absolutely. So today, we had a patch that actually came out this morning. I expected it to have come out yesterday because patches almost always occur on Tuesday. And they probably intended it for it to be Tuesday, but they just were late and delivered it Wednesday. And they should have postponed it further because they released the worst patch by a AAA game dev I've ever seen. Bloodless TV, what's up, brother? Rocking light mode Reddit? Yeah. Don't BM me, dude. It's easier to read, and it's easier for
Yeah,
you guys to
I don't-
see.
I don't get dark mode. I think it's like a young kid thing. I don't know. I can't get used to it.
Yeah, so
My eyes are too old.
we'll figure it out. Regardless, so today there was a patch. A lot of things to cover here, so we're just going to dive right the fuck into it. First, something kind of cool, I guess. The new patch came with a crossbow, the marksman rifle. So, that is interesting. And I haven't actually been able to use it yet because to unlock it, you have to get 5 kills with a marksman rifle that has a reflex on it in a match 25 times. So you have to play a minimum of 25 separate matches to unlock this thing. And I basically got home from work today, ate, showered, prepared for this podcast. So I haven't been able to even touch the crossbow myself, but that is how it's unlocked. It does have some attachments, some other kind of things it can do. I know that it's a one-hit kill on people, I think by default, but again, I have no real concrete details on this or on attachments because I haven't used it. Have you seen it in game yet, Tanner?
Only in hardcore, so it was a single shot everywhere.
Did you happen to pick it up or use it? Like, what's the refire rate?
I mean, you fire one and then it was probably about a 4 or 5 second reload. It wasn't too bad, not as bad as I thought. It wasn't great though. Looked like there was a lot of drop on it as well.
Okay. Yeah. So like my problem with the crossbow in Black Ops 4 was that it was a one-hit kill weapon in a game that had a really slow time to kill. In this game, the time to kill is so much faster that I don't have a problem with one-hit kill weapons. My guess for this crossbow is that it's going to be fucking garbage and gimmicky and not good. However, there were some interesting things when I was reading the description of it in game. Trophy system doesn't defend against it. And there are explosive tips as an attachment for the crossbow. So you could put explosive tips on it, play it in like hardpoint or headquarters, and it would be really good for clearing out a hardpoint, B, a headquarters, because it can't be stopped by a trophy system, which a lot of the tryhard sweats will use in those game modes. So I think that could be pretty cool, but even still, I don't see it getting much use, because to use it, you'd have to use overkill since it's in the marksman category.
Yeah.
So that's weird. I was also seeing a thread on Reddit that if you shoot a VTOL 3 times with the explosive tip arrows, it kills it. Might be faster than a launcher. Depends on the reload time and stuff. I don't really know, but
I think it would be, let alone because of the launcher. Well, if you're using like a Pila or a Joker, it's gonna flare anyways, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of time wasted. I feel like it'd be better for that.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So it does have some niche uses, but I don't see it being, good. If it was a secondary, I would think it's a lot better. But the fact that it's a primary weapon, it's like, I'm not going to run a crossbow instead of an M4, So,
yeah.
And then you're making me take overkill for a secondary. I think it could work on like hardpoint, but by and large, I don't think that's going to work. Tanner, go over the next one. I got to blow my nose.
Okay, so we got 5 new custom loadouts. That's fantastic. We should have had that at launch. I'm glad they finally added it in now. I know a lot of people didn't care. They would say things like, oh, you can edit your classes in game, but still, it's great to have different classes set up. Less editing in game, less time wasted after you spawn in. So I'm a big fan of that. Plus, I only have, I think, 5 more guns left for Damascus. So, hey, I'll make a class for each gun I have left. Pretty simple.
Yeah, that's going to be nice, for sure. Just like you said, it's less editing in-game.
Yep.
Oh, I'm doing nasal spray.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it feels so fucking good. My whole system's just...
Yeah, is it? Okay.
So, yeah, that's cool. The 5 new loadouts is awesome. But I mean, again, that's something that should have been given to us so long ago, but not really much to say on that. Good to see it. Some new shit in the store also. Again, not much to say about that. None of it was like super crazy to me.
It's just, it's more junk.
Just more junk, yeah, actually. Capture the Flag was added. I think we played this a little bit in BO4. Do you remember that, Tanner?
We did. We liked it a lot. It was a really hype game mode. That was a much faster game though, so I'm not sure how it'll play in this. But in BO4, it was hype, dude. It got intense.
Yeah, it did. I remember a match we had on what's the fucking map? What's it called?
Firing Range. I remember Firing Range had a lot of good ones.
No, we had a really good one on. It was like it had the vents at B,
where they kept making like the sandstorm version and all that.
Yes. Arsenal.
Yeah. Arsenal.
Arsenal. Yep. Yeah. We had some good matches.
Yeah, fun
there.
on that too. Yep. Very fun.
Yeah. So we'll see if Capture the Flag, we'll see how it plays in this game. Just like you said, this game is so slow that I think it's going to be really campy and not that fun. But that's because of Modern Warfare, It's not because of Capture the Flag.
Yeah.
So, Shoot the Ship is back again, which is a playlist with Shoot House and Shipment, which is great. For those of us who are on our Damascus grind, we're going to get to that. But Shipment in particular is just excellent for grinding almost all the weapon camos except for like long shots. So that's gonna be good for me and Tanner because we're not done with Damascus grind yet. And Shoot House is cool too. I'm not sure how I feel about them combining those two maps in one playlist. Would you prefer they did one or the other?
I would prefer they did one or the other. I like it shipment one week, Shoot House the next week. I don't like the back and forth. I don't know. They don't like, people want them together, but I don't think they belong together. I don't know.
They do seem a lot different.
So much different. There's no reason to have them together.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of like having like a jungle Nuketown playlist in Black Ops 4 or like an Icebreaker Nuketown. It's like, hey, these are different. These are two different.
Yeah,
just because Shoot House is smaller, it's not shipment size, man. Like a shipment Rust playlist would make sense. But I agree with you. I don't think Shoot House shipment, they don't really marry well, you know?
Yeah, I was really excited for shipments to come back. I just figured, oh, cool, regular shipments coming back, but nope, we got that. So
yeah,
whatever.
So not great, but yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Anaya Palace is back in Ground War, so that's cool, I guess. I don't know if was Anaya Palace in any playlists before this.
It was on Ground War for a while. It was a fun Ground War map too. It's like the only infantry-based one, pretty much, with a lot of close quarters combat. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I know I got really bad frame rate on it though compared to the other maps for some reason.
Yeah, well, that's a whole separate fucking issue with Ground War, especially on PC. But Anaya Palace is, I think, like the smallest Ground War map, which means it's the most fun for me. And there are like very few vehicles, like you said, which makes it like actually click on heads based, which is fantastic, obviously. And then they removed farmland for bug fixes. I think what this means is for all the kids that were like glitching out of the map, they decided to just remove the map altogether until they can figure out how to fix it. So that's good, I guess. I'm not a big fan of Ground War in general, so this doesn't affect me too much. And Farmland I liked as a map, but it wasn't like my favorite or anything, so I don't know.
Yeah, that was my favorite Ground War map, so I'm a little upset, but whatever. I don't play too much of it anyways, so not a big deal.
Well, fortunately, we have a really competent dev team, so these bug fixes will be done, and this will be patched back in like tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, Tuesday at the latest. It'll come with those nuke calling cards too.
Yeah. We'll get to that. Okay. All right. So the Ram 7, this was random, and I didn't see anyone asking for this, but we got it anyway. And I was happy to see this. Kind of. Ram 7 extended mag increased from 45 to 50 rounds. What do you think?
Completely unnecessary. I have yet to use the Ram 7. I think mine is level 3.
Oh, God damn it.
I'm not going to use it until I get Damascus, but I mean, I can tell it's a good gun. I don't see why it needed an extra 5 bullets, though. No, what needs an extra 5 bullets is the Scar.
You know what else needs an extra 5 bullets is the M4.
Yeah, M4 needs like it needs like a 100-round mag, actually.
Yeah, but it should reload as fast as an MP7, so.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. Anyways, sarcasm aside, so right now the Ram 7 extended mags increase the default magazine of 30 rounds up to 45. And for some reason, instead they just made it so now the extended mag takes it from 30 to 50. So I think that's cool because it brings it a lot closer to the M4, which is by far the best assault rifle in the game. And one of the reasons, in fact, I would say pretty much the only reason I rank the M4 above the Ram 7 in terms of like strength is because the M4 has so many more attachments. And one of the M4 attachments I always run is the 60 round mag. So the Ram 7, one of its big downsides for me was that it had an extended mag that was 15 bullets fewer. The fact that this is 50 now really bridges that gap for me. Because the Ram 7 has a faster fire rate, same damage ranges, a little more recoil. So that's like the only difference, aside from missing some other attachments like a no stock attachment. So it's going to be interesting to see what this will feel like. I mean, it's only an extra 5 bullets, but what this makes me think is they just need to buff all the other assault rifles to be close to the Ram 7 and the M4, because they are just pulling away in front of all the other assault rifles.
Agreed.
Kaylee, what's up? Oh yeah, my emotes got approved, by the way, so keep that in mind. Some Razinon goods in the chat, dude. Hell yeah.
some Razinon
So that's
good.
cool, yeah. So Kaylee, welcome to the channel. By the way, for those of you listening on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, or wherever the fuck you listen to podcasts, this is streamed live at twitch.tv/Razinon. Our next episode will be... Shit. I don't have the date written down, but I'll get it to you soon.
It'll be at some point.
It'll be at some point in the future. So make sure you follow the stream, twitch.tv/Razinon, so you can catch the next episode live. All right, now that plug's out of the way, adjusted the damage threshold for get X kills while injured challenge to make it a bit easier to obtain. This, I'm pretty sure, applies to every weapon where this was a requirement. And I think the only weapon was the riot shield and the knife. Am I missing something there?
No, I don't think so.
So as it stands, one of the camos you need for the knife and the riot shield is like get 50 kills while injured, and then you get the camo, or the maximum of that camo. And what they constituted injured as was like 10 health or less out of 100, which is really hard to do. It's really hard to be at that health and not die. And it's also really hard to be at that health and get a kill. So what people were doing was going into hardcore, running through their own thermite to get themselves at like 1% health, and then getting kills to finish this camo. They've increased that threshold, they didn't say by how much, to make this easier. So that's cool. It's a good change. Should have been sooner, and also they should have told us how much health.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, when I first read that on the patch notes earlier, I got really excited because I thought, I read it fast, I was at work, and I thought it said they lowered the amount of kills needed to complete that challenge. I'm like, oh, dope. Then I'm like already done with the riot shield for that one. But then I got home and looked at it. I'm like, oh, cool. Let's see if they gave me the camo.
Never
and then
mind.
I read it wrong. Yeah, but that actually wasn't difficult for me. I'm surprised people had issues with that. I'm having way more trouble with the 3 kills without dying with the riot shield.
Yeah, well, it's easier to do in core, so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, is this over now? Because I'm going to get off.
Okay. All right, so next we have increased bullet penetration for the Mark II. That is a really random change. Like, I think this and the Ram 7 and some of the other little changes they made were just totally random. But I guess this is cool. Increased bullet penetration for the Mark II. I almost never wallbang in this game anyway, though.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I don't wallbang with anything. You know what I am noticing, though, with these patch notes? They're finally more detailed. Like, that would have been something in the last few patches they would have not even wrote in there, and somebody would have just figured it out.
Yeah, there were a lot of hidden patch details in the last big patch, so there's probably definitely going to be some more, and on the next episode we'll go over the stealth changes, because I'm sure there will have been some. But right now we're just going through most of the patch notes, the ones that are relevant to multiplayer specifically, or the ones that are impactful or important. We're not going through all the patch notes, so just keep that in mind. If you want the full patch notes, you can find those anywhere on the internet. This patch is 1.13, so that's what you'd be looking for. Next up, less horizontal recoil for the initial bullets of the SCAR. I like this. I think the SCAR needs some love. The 20 bullets, like you said, is a little low, but it does slap. So I don't know if you could increase the bullets, the magazine capacity by default, and keep it balanced.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I don't know how much horizontal recoil the bullets on the SCAR initially have.
You know, I think it did have a lot of horizontal now that I think about it. It was a strange recoil pattern. I haven't used it in a while, but it was weird. It probably had the most horizontal recoil of any gun that I can think of.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, that's a good thing then, because the Scar is like the second worst assault rifle in the game, in my opinion. So any change to that to help it, I think is good. So this is kind of what I was saying about the Ram 7, how they need to bring the other assault rifles up to it. I think this is a good step in the right direction with the Scar, so that's good. Bloodless TV, the capping flag status bar is more transparent on your HUD. I don't think that was mentioned in the notes. Interesting. See? Perfect. So thank you. That is something they would absolutely have changed without mentioning. Fortunately, that's a good change. Here's my problem with capping flags in fucking DOM. Number one is, yeah, it's in the worst possible spot, right where your sightline is. And also, it starts to play music as you get closer to capping it, which is exactly when I want to start listening to footsteps. So it's really annoying to me when it goes like dun 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 dun, like the fucking Jaws theme song. It really pisses me off. So I hope they change that. I doubt it, but that's a good change, Bloodless, if they did do that. So good to know. Good to know. They buffed the trophy system. Decreased charge time, increased protection radius, decrease the radius and the damage taken by trophy explosions. Okay, so when you throw a frag at a trophy and the trophy kills it, that detonation is smaller and does less damage. I guess that's good. I don't know. I didn't use the trophy system too much, so I don't have too much to say about that. But I guess that's a good thing. I'll have to play with trophy system more. I don't play that much headquarters or hardpoint, so like I said, I don't have much experience with trophy system. Fixed a bug. Okay, next, fixed a bug where the explosion damage and effects wouldn't trigger for the third explosion. I don't even know what that means. It's Infinity Ward patch notes right there.
Where the explosion?
That's weird, right? Do you know what that means, Tanner?
I have no idea. That makes zero sense to me. I'm not sure.
Okay. So this one I haven't been able to test. I think I know what it means. Tanner, you can correct me if I'm wrong or tell me what you think. Domination, which is the playlist we play by far the most. Flags must be neutralized before being captured again. Now, what I think that means is if you have B and I go to cap B, instead of going from you to me, it goes from you back to neutral to me. So I have to go through 2 ticks rather than 1 to cap it. But once I get through the first tick, no one has it. Is that true?
Yeah, Blood is right what he just wrote in chat. I believe that's for they did some changes that was only for the Pro League.
Oh, interesting. They didn't mention that in the notes. That's crazy. Okay, well, okay. I was going to say I would like that even in pubs to where it goes back to neutral if the enemy team uncaps you before they take it themselves. It would
I would enjoy that.
It would make DOM matches longer too, and I like long matches. And it would make it like more impactful to take a point. So if you hold B, it would be really good for you. And if you lost half of it, then you wouldn't still have the point. I don't know. I would have liked it, but I would like to see if that is true, if that's confirmed for pubs or not, Blood. What's up, Laloy? You haven't missed much, man, but I'll be posting the full VOD of the podcast on my YouTube, which can be found at Razinon, as well as Facebook, and as soon as iTunes approves it on iTunes, this will be as well. Just search for the Dropshot. So this next one was weird, and I want to hear your thoughts, Tanner. Removed lightweight boost and decreased charge time on dead silence.
What does the lightweight boost mean?
I'm assuming that means the speed buff you get. Right?
I've been using it all day, and I haven't noticed any difference. What's strange? I didn't see that in the patch notes.
That's weird. I copy and pasted this from the patch notes, so.
There we go.
Only for pros.
You know, there
I
was
think
somewhere in the patch notes that one of the little areas was only for the Pro League.
I think you might be right. Let me see. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's got to be. I know. Yeah, they made a lot of changes. Because speaking of that, we're over on that
Damn.
subject.
Yeah.
The Pro League players were, I guess, a little upset because in typical COD fashion, their league starts on Friday.
Uh-huh.
And they did all of these changes. You know, like it sounds like little things, but to them, when they've been practicing certain ways for weeks now, and then they change it 2 days before, that pisses the pros off.
That would make me furious, especially with how much money these franchises spend to get like the licensing or whatever. It's like $30 million as an org to buy into Call of Duty.
Yeah, we need to do a whole episode on that at some point because it's kind of cool how they did it this year, with the cities and all that. But the price to join was crazy, just absurd. I don't understand it.
Yeah, that is insane. That is insane.
Deep pockets to get into that league.
Super deep pockets. And it caused some teams to just not buy in. I can think of at least two. I don't remember their names, though.
I know 100 Thieves did not. They wanted a team really bad.
Yeah, that was one of them. Mm-hmm.
They just couldn't afford it. They couldn't do that. You know, they already raised a bunch of funding for their new gaming headquarters.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. I don't blame them, dude. That's such a big buy-in, and like you have to make all that money back through sponsorships, and if you're not placing, you're not going to get that many sponsorships, or you're not going to get that many high-tier sponsorships. And plus you have to pay the salary for all of your athletes, all your competitors. You have to probably pay for their housing, you know?
Oh yeah.
So many expenses. Just on top of that 30 mil, you're spending so much more fucking money.
I don't see how you make money doing it. I don't think you will. There's no way you will.
A lot of them do, but I don't know. The margin has to be pretty tight.
Yeah.
All right. I played a few hours of Dom today. It didn't change. Okay, Blood, for sure. So yeah, that was probably a COD League thing then. So good to know. Good to know. In that case, this isn't a thing. All right, and then the last thing that they said they fixed, and we're going to get into, this is kind of going to segue, dovetail into the next topic here. Player collision was fixed. But apparently not actually. Have you had any issues with player collision today, Tanner?
Not yet, but I've been going around crouched with the right shield most of the day.
Yeah.
I did see a few things, people complaining. I hadn't noticed anything. I mean, I was running through people that were mounted in doorways. And I was running through them, and I wasn't hitting them off or anything.
Okay. Well, Bloodless is saying it's definitely still in the game, and I've seen a couple Reddit threads of people complaining about this. Let me try and find one for you.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's find one.
Let me see. Just look at the state of this Reddit, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was cool too. I saw this earlier. You can now use spray paint during the pre-match timer. So that's pretty dope. Spray kids.
Spray our teammates.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. It's a nice little change. They should spend their time removing skill-based matchmaking, but that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, here's the thread. Player collision is not fixed. My God, the amount of times I'm bumping into my teammates and die because I'm to run to cover only to be blocked by my teammate head glitching is getting to the point of uninstalling until this is actually fixed. If the bug isn't fixed, don't say it's fixed. Can we do that? Excellent point. Can't argue with that guy. So I believe this person. I have no faith in Infinity Ward. I'm not going to trust their notes over this thread, especially when it has 240 upvotes. This person's probably not lying, and his experience is probably not unique to just him. So keep that in mind.
Keep it in mind.
I got banned from the MW Reddit for calling Ashton a coward. Damn, Blood. Yeah, they have they rule with an iron fist over there, I'm told. I'm still in good standing as of now.
Speaking of that, actually, earlier at work, I kept refreshing the new feed to see people posting about what we're going to talk about next.
Mm-hmm.
And I was seeing posts get deleted. There'd be like literally about 10 new ones within a few minutes. They would all be deleted. It was so weird. I'm like, what?
Yeah, they moderate that thing heavy.
Yeah.
All right, so what else? This is the funniest fucking thing that I've ever seen. In any game ever. In any patch ever.
It's up there.
Dude, let me pull this up.
It's definitely way up there.
Hold on. So some people are getting this error message right here. Your data is corrupt or didn't download properly. You must reset your rank and unlocks to continue. Now, how does this... So this is obviously unintended, and the devs have said that this is unintended. Someone coded this error message into the game at some point. And the game came out 3 months ago. So it wasn't that long ago that it was coded in. Why was this even... Under what circumstance would this have intentionally been a menu?
Yeah, Siri. Good. I haven't thought about that until you just brought that up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this was obviously coded in, because if it was just like some bug, your game would just crash. But instead, it brings you up to a coded in menu, but it was coded for a scenario that's not this scenario. But why would you code this in? So here's what the error message says. So some people patched the game, and as they load it in, it says, error. Your data is corrupt or didn't download properly. You must reset your rank and unlocks to continue. And then the options are yes and no. And here is the best part. If you had actually pressed yes, it actually reset you. There was some dude on Twitter who was saying, I pressed yes and it actually reset me, laughing my ass off, uninstalled. How colossally do you have to fuck up for this to happen?
Now, I think they'll be able to fix that, because I know they patched it, or they're working on a patch now. I hope they'll be able to help those people that actually got reset.
I'm sure they're going to fix it, obviously. But just the fact that a patch came out and this error message popped up is incredible to me. The fact that the reset actually works is even more incredible to me. And now this is going to be the Infinity Ward dev team wasting a bunch of time re-rolling people who accidentally clicked yes here. So that's just even more development time taken away from us because of their incompetence. And like, it just doesn't make any sense how this is possible. I just can't believe it. What?
I got so happy when I started up my game and it didn't happen to me. I was so scared.
Dude, it's so dumb. Yeah, if you just exit out, by the way, if you get this error message, don't click yes or no. Just fucking Alt F4, turn off your Xbox, whatever. Don't say anything, don't do anything, and it'll be fine. But just do not press yes. That's the only thing you want to avoid, because it'll actually reset you. And then you're going to have to wait on Infinity Ward devs to fix your issue, and that is not a position you want to be in, obviously.
Absolutely not.
That's so fucking funny to me. So that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. So also, the RAM 7 extended mags got increased to 50, they said, but it didn't actually. So they wrote that in the patch notes. They said they patched it in, but if you play with a RAM 7 right now with extended mags, it's still 45 rounds.
That's a rip.
So it's a fat rip. And also no nuclear calling card as of yet. So I'm hoping we see this in season 2. What do you think, Tanner?
That maybe would make sense. Started out at the start of season 2. Yeah, I would be happy just to get it within the next month. At this point,
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I think
I
that,
just want kids to shiver when they see me join the lobby.
or me, because I called the nuke before you, so keep that in
Yeah.
mind.
How many do you have?
I have as many as you, which is 1.
Okay.
So I'm on the Damascus grind.
All right,
So
we'll check my stats.
okay, we'll look at
I
we'll
have
check the VODs.
exactly double, but yeah,
Okay.
it's fine.
So yeah. And then the last thing I wanted to cover, these team jerseys that are supposedly in the store, I didn't see them, Tanner. Did you?
No, those aren't coming out until the 24th, I believe it had said.
Okay. So I wonder what else we can expect on the 24th. And where did you see this? Where did you see this information?
It was on Infinity Ward a couple days ago, whenever they announced it yesterday. You know what? It's probably the 24th because, like I was saying, that's when the Pro League starts, so they're doing it that day.
Okay.
I'm actually really excited. So I don't really care. Like, if there was like 100 Thieves or an organization that I kind of somewhat followed, I would buy that kit. But still, really good idea. Big fan of that.
I think it's cool for sure. Because you and I play on PC, we don't really care that much. But
Yeah.
like for the most people who play on console, I think it's a cool idea. And I like that they're like involving. It's like you can buy like a Laker jersey at fucking, whatever, Sport Chalet. That's such a boomer reference. What's the sporting goods store now?
Dick's. I
Dick's?
think Dick's is probably the biggest one now.
Dick's, yeah. At Dick's, right?
Amazon.
Amazon.com.
Jeff Bezos, yeah.
Yeah, Amazon.com. But you can't buy, some COD League jersey. And if you did, you wouldn't want to wear it outside anyway, because number one, you don't go outside. And number two, no one would know what the fuck that is. So it's cool
it's
that
becoming more well known.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but it's cool that they give you a way to represent like in game. I think that's pretty dope. Unfortunately, I just don't give a fuck about COD League,
Speaking of that though, the way they did the franchising with the cities, how I was saying, it's kind of a good idea. I think it will bring a lot more visibility to Call of Duty though, because already I know one of the Los Angeles Pro League teams was invited to a LA Kings hockey game, and they had like this little thing. I think they played like a little video for them. Like the whole Call of Duty team was there wearing their jerseys. Like they rode on like the Zamboni during the periods. Like that was cool to see stuff like that, because you would have never seen that if it wasn't for the franchising and them being named Los Angeles.
That's true.
So that's kind of dope.
Yeah, that is cool. And it brings more attention to the brand. But
yeah,
I mean, I almost don't want them to be making good money moves when their product is this bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like that's going to get them more money, but it's like they don't deserve it. I mean, look at this. Go ahead.
What? No, you can go. Mine was going to be long.
My rank got reset from 155 to 55, and my battle pass progress got reset too from 87 to 0.
Rip. Get fucking shit on.
I kept everything until the level, but I don't earn XP after matches. Restarting or repairing the game doesn't help. Like, imagine, dude. This is such a clusterfuck, man.
Crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy.
It's just so absurd, dude. It's just so absurd. Optimus Prime 713, aka Jordan, asks, will y'all watch the Pro League at all? I think I will start to do that. I think maybe even Tanner and I could have some viewing parties. Is that allowed on Twitch? Would I be able to like watch the COD League live stream here and then have my cam over it and like commentate on it? Is that in the TOS?
I would think it'd be okay.
I think you're allowed to do that. And I think that could be fun too.
I'm waiting for that day that competitive comes back to PC. I think Call of Duty competitive will switch to PC at some point.
I don't.
Really?
No, I think by the time anything gets competitive again on PC, it'll be a new game. I think
It'll
COD has gone to console and it's going to stay there.
It would be so much more exciting though, because it's like these pros on console. When you watch them play PC games, they're really good at PC games too, because they're just like they're just really good at games in general. So it's like a lot of them could compete at the PC level as well, like easily. Like they could be PC pros if it swapped over.
Well,
it would just be faster paced. It'd be more entertaining.
yeah.
I wish they would, but it won't happen anytime, at least in the next couple of years.
With that said, to Tanner's point, I want everyone to take a look at this. Okay. This is a gameplay of Shroud, who was a professional CSGO player, and he plays on PC. And he's playing Modern Warfare on PC. These are the types of plays you would see from PC players in the Pro League. Tanner, are you watching this?
Yep.
Pull this shit up. You might have seen it already. I don't know.
I have. I think I know what you're going to show.
I'm sure most of you have seen it. Look at that. Even in slow motion, this is so fast, dude. Let's watch this back again. Right here. Look at that, dude. Those are the types of plays you literally can't see on a console. Because the aim just isn't, I mean, mechanically it's impossible. On 10 sensitivity, you're never turning that fast. So yeah, I think it would definitely be better for the pro scene from a viewer standpoint, for sure, to see like PC players only. I'm curious if it's ever going to be the case that they allow PC players and console players to mix in the pro scene.
They do that in Fortnite currently, and the PC players absolutely hate it.
Do they get shit on?
I mean, they can probably outbuild, but when it comes to shooting, I mean, all you see all day long is Fortnite PC pros just basically calling for two separate leagues, because they say it's unfair because aim assist in Fortnite is insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's way overpowered.
Yeah.
Probably like way worse in a game like this. So they hate it.
I think that's the problem in general with any kind of crossplay that wants to be competitive. You can't balance PC and console, because aim assist, if you don't make the aim assist good enough, then PC players shit on console players all the time. But if you make the aim assist good enough, then the advantage immediately switches to console. There's no amount of aim assist that makes it perfectly even. It's either the console players are disadvantaged or advantaged. There's no like completely even standpoint from a competitive perspective.
Yeah.
I think it's cool for pubs. I like it that you can play against console players in pubs.
Yeah, big fan. It makes us find lobbies easier.
Yeah, it makes the player base huge. It's fun. I'm a big fan of that. But as far as competitive, I just don't think we'll ever see it. So
yeah,
unfortunately, but
yep.
And then that was pretty much all I've got. Tanner, anything to add?
Game related, no. If anybody in chat right now has done the Riot Shield Gold, give me some tips on how to get 3 kills without dying, please, because I get 2 every time and then die on the 3rd. So
yeah, let's
keep
do
that in mind.
I'm gonna do a viewer poll right now. Do you think it's easier to get 3 kills without dying with a Riot Shield in core or in hardcore? Don't say your answer, Tanner. I'm not going to say mine, but Tanner and I have a disagreement on this, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Bloodless TV says hardcore. Okay. So basically in hardcore, the Riot Shield's a 1-hit kill, whereas in core, it's a 2-hit kill. Assuming the enemy's at full health, obviously. So the advantage of hardcore is you get to one-tap people, no matter how much health they have. The advantage of core is you're tankier yourself, obviously. You can eat more bullets before you die. Jordan hasn't tried. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Tanner skews the poll and ruins the results by saying hardcore, and he highlights his message too. Real piece of shit. I was telling Tanner that it's actually easier in core because of two considerations. Number one, you die. It's way harder for you to die in core. So you can bully some kid into dying, and then you can stay alive way easier. And as long as someone is weak, you'll still one-shot them in core. So just do it in core and then run up to people and bash them. Hope that they're weak, and you'll get 3 kills pretty easily because it's way easier for you to stay alive yourself.
I'll try it.
You should try it. You really should. So that's where Tanner's Damascus journey is right now. My Damascus journey was put on hold for the last 2 days because I had the worst stomach flu I've ever had. I was having fever dreams and like hallucinating that I was a woman named Tori. It was very fucking weird.
Yeah, explain that in depth a little more.
Dude, it doesn't make sense. I was laying in bed. I knew I was in my bed, but I was having thoughts that just didn't make sense. Like out of body kind of. And it wasn't pleasant.
So weird.
Dude, it was strange, man. I was so fucking sick. I was laying in bed sweating, puking like I was in a Peruvian ayahuasca retreat. Just so confused. And then I was like, whose thoughts are these? What am I thinking? And I was like, it was so bad. But I'm mostly over it now. Still recovering.
Did you ever have a thought that you were like dying or some shit?
No, because my brother had it. So I knew I wasn't going to die because he was getting over it. But I was not happy.
No, I wouldn't be the most pleased person in the world to have that.
It was literally the most sick I've ever been. And I'm 27 years old. Usually the most sick you've ever been is when you're like 12. So this is a crazy fucking strain of flu. So it went from my brother to me. I'm starting to get over it, and my mom just got sick with it. So really unfortunate for her. So I'm going to have to take care of her.
Your dad needs to quarantine himself.
I know. I told him, dude. I was like, you better fucking wash your hands, bitch. Like, you got to be careful out here in these streets.
Sleep in the garage or something.
Yeah, it's possible. So, all right. Any other news? Anything upcoming that we've missed? I feel like there isn't much to talk about coming forward because we just had the new patch. So I feel like most of the news was in that patch, you know?
And that was a quote-unquote big patch. So I'm expecting nothing substantial whatsoever until Season 2.
I know, for real.
Which is fine, because I'm going on a couple trips, so I'll be gone some of that time anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, Season 2 is in like 3 weeks anyway, so I'll happily wait for
yeah, can we look up a date for the start time?
That.
I think it said 20 days when I looked today. I think. I'm not positive.
Say that again?
Can we get a start time for the new season? I think it was the 11th.
Oh, I think it's the 11th. Yeah, I think it's the 11th. I'm not positive though, but I can look into it or Google it for me. I'm doing something else. There we go. Okay. There we go. Perfect. And then let me just pull this bad boy up here.
February 12th. Yeah. Perfect.
February 12th, yeah.
That's the day I come back. That's fantastic.
Yeah, February 12th. So that's in what? 1, 2, yeah, so 3 weeks. Exactly 3 weeks from today. So I'm fine with waiting 3 more weeks for another big patch. I'm just hoping they iron out all these bugs that they've had. And like I said, our next episode of The Dropshot is going to be on Saturday, February 1st. By this time, we will probably have information on what was changed in today's patch that was not in the notes. Because they for sure changed some shit that they didn't put in the notes, just like they did last time. Bloodless already pointed one thing out, and I'm sure there are going to be other things like that, so we'll make sure to cover those on February 1st, on Saturday, which is when our next episode will be. Once again, follow the stream. Make sure you don't miss the next one live. It's going to be at 8 p.m. on Saturday, by the way, 8 p.m. Pacific. And once again, these episodes are reposted on my YouTube, which can be conveniently found at the link I've just provided for you. Chat, do you have anything you would like to talk about before we skedaddle?
I have a question. You going to be live tomorrow?
I am going to be live tomorrow, 7 p.m. Abso-fucking-lutely. I'll be live with some gameplay. I had my first full meal today, so I should be feeling mostly up to snuff tomorrow by the time 7 p.m. rolls around. How many times did you?
Question. Yeah.
Tanner54 asks, "How many times did you throw up?" Incalculable. Probably.
Really?
Bloodless. How many times did you throw up? I don't know. Probably, if I had to guess, probably 20, 25 times. It was just
Jesus, are you serious?
It was
That's insane.
And this was all in 12 hours. So like what happened was I got sick at like 11 p.m. and I threw up. And then for that entire evening until probably 8 a.m., I threw up probably about 20, 25 times. And then after that, I didn't throw up again. So it was in like 12 hours. It was just multiple times an hour.
Damn. Insane, dude. I can't imagine.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Are you vaccinated? I am vaccinated. Not against I didn't get a flu vaccine, though. I'm not fucking 90. Although maybe I should have. Because it was not worth going through that demonic, hellish landscape that I went through.
It was so weird. Like, we were playing wrestling Sunday night, and then I don't even know what you said. You said something so fast and just left Discord. I'm just like, what the hell just happened?
I almost shit my pants and threw up on my keyboard at the same time. So I was just like...
It came that fast. Did you have any feelings of all of a sudden it just came up?
No, I had probably 5 minutes warning. I was like, ooh, I don't feel good. And then 5 minutes later, I was like, oh, this is real. I gotta go. And then I just fucking bounced and just sat on my toilet for like 40 minutes.
Ugh, that's the worst.
I was sitting on my toilet, throwing up in a trash can, and just shitting my brains out at the same time.
Yeah, I've had that exact thing happen once.
The double piper, dude.
Bug. Yeah, mine only happened one night though, and I probably threw up 8 to 10 times.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was just like overnight. Like, it didn't even last 12 hours.
Dude, it was not great. And more to Sky. Trixie, what's up, darling? Yeah, super fun combo. It was even more of a fun experience. So if you've never had gastroenteritis, I strongly recommend it.
Damn.
Just kidding, obviously. So, all right, guys, that's it for us. Thank you for watching the Dropshot live. We will be live again Saturday the 1st, 8 p.m. Pacific. Follow me on Twitch at Razinon. Follow me on Twitter at Razinon. Follow Tanner on Twitter at TANNERRRR54. Stay apprised. Stay updated on all things Call of Duty. Thank you for watching. And as always, stay humble.
Stay humble.